So let's talk about Exoprimal, Capcom's third-person shooter which introduces players to a game based on fighting hordes of dinosaurs, mixed with completing specific objectives and intertwining PvE with PvP. Let's take a closer look, shall we? The story of Exoprimal focuses on you and your crew being trapped on Bikatoa Island, where a rogue AI sends exosuit-equipped soldiers from parallel universes 3 years into the past to fight dinosaurs in order to gather data, and you're tasked with stopping that rogue AI, aka the Leviathan. After some introductory scenes, you'll be able to make your character. Not too much to say on this, the customization doesn't really have depth, so don't expect some Borderlands, Elden Ring or Saints Row level of detail. It's mostly just centered on the type of face you want, hairstyle, colour, scars, paint and the colour of your suit. You only really see your character during cutscenes or if you manage to make it on the leaderboard, as well as jumping out of your suit mid-game, so it's quite rare. You'll be in your exosuit for most of the time. Then again, it is still early days, they may add more customization features later down the line. But after making your character and doing some training, you're let loose to compete in the Dino Survival game mode. This is essentially the story. You progress the game simply by playing these matches. It's 90% PvE with a hint of PvP towards the end. But don't worry, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, every match completion adds to your progression. And you can track it via the analysis map. The percentage will give you an idea of how close you are to finishing the story, but bear in mind you have to unlock these manually by watching the little clips here. It's easily forgettable, so if your percentage looks low after playing for a while, don't worry, you may be further ahead than you think. Now in terms of exosuits, there's 10 to choose from. They're split into 3 categories: assault, tank and support. You could say they display similarities to that of Overwatch characters. Now I haven't played all of them just yet, but I'll touch on the ones I've spent a considerable amount of time with. In general, most characters are set out with a main weapon, an evasion ability, a heavy and or light attack, as well as an overdrive ability which is basically your ultimate. First off, let's talk about the Witch Doctor. He's the first character I played as since I love support characters. He's essentially a healer with the ability to heal of course with a radial field or individually targeting allies. Choosing the right time to heal is essential as you can provide added protection to allies who need to take care of larger dinosaurs. Health can regenerate as an overcharge of plus 100 to all exosuits' normal health, so timing is key for most situations. The main weapon for this exosuit is the Neuro Rod, where you can electrically stun dinosaurs. The dinosaurs you encounter range in size and they can all be stunned. It's just a mystery of whether it's RNG based for larger dinosaurs which appear to be more resistant, as sometimes they may not stun at all regardless of how long you hold down the trigger. But anyway, I love the Witch Doctor, it's the first suit I maxed out. Getting swarmed is bearable with this suit. You may be up close supporting melee teammates often, but if you time your heals correctly you can keep your team alive for a long time, although the lack of offensive firepower makes you an easy target.
Wow, was Spike mad? Wow, 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 bow, 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 wow, bow, wow, bow, wow, bow, bow, wow, bow, bow, wow, bow, bow, wow, bow, wow.
One thing to also note with this character is that you can only dodge in one direction, which is kind of annoying. You have to turn to where you want to dodge to, so it's something to be wary of. A bit more freedom with this would be nice. Onto an assault exosuit, Deadeye. Like the Witch Doctor, it's not hard to master. The Deadeye comes equipped with plenty of firepower to suit its role. A 40-round Ravager assault rifle, a grenade launcher capable of doing massive damage to hordes and larger dinosaurs too, and other abilities like a powerful melee to keep enemies at bay. This is essentially the starter character you're given and is the easiest to work with. Just point and shoot really, you don't have to get into the midst of the fight like the next 2 characters I mentioned. Zephyr, another personal favourite of mine, belongs to the assault category and focuses on speed and melee abilities. Equipped with twin blades, this suit tears through dinosaurs and is able to do so with style. Accompanied by attacks such as a linear strike, a powerful tackle that sends enemies flying with additional damage applied if they hit a wall, you've also got the Sky High ability which sends enemies into the air as well. And his limiter overdrive, which is complementary to the abilities I mentioned prior as it reduces their cooldown significantly. Due to his low health, he is a bit fragile, but combining all these abilities with his speed can make some great flanking plays on the enemy team. Sometimes enemy Zephyrs will have the same idea though.
Uplink C secured. Uplink B shut down.
Then you have Roadblock, the tank with the most health in the game I believe. As his name states, he is literally a walking roadblock with the capabilities of taunting dinosaurs to draw their focus to you alone. A ballistic shield which keeps trash dinosaurs at bay and can even be used to go toe to toe with much larger and dangerous dinosaurs. This is accompanied by a shield blast which issues a reply to all enemies on the other side of a shield. The durability of the roadblock increases your team's survivability. You're on the front lines, attracting all the attention, taking all the heat, and the fact that you can take on larger dinosaurs makes this exosuit very fun. The last suit I wanted to mention was Nimbus, another support character with an interesting arsenal. Dual wielding interchangeable handguns for damage and healing, you operate at range, topping your allies' health off and killing dinos. Like Zephyr, this exosuit is quite fragile, but luckily it's the only suit that regenerates health over time, which is a great addition. If you do get overwhelmed though, you can warp away as well, which is nice. This was one of the last characters I tried and I'm glad I did, it's growing on me. Even the way Nimbus shoots is pretty cool too. Those are the suits I can talk about for now, but I think it's fair to say there's a suit for everyone in this game. There's enough variation in them to fit your playstyle, and we will be seeing more suit variations in future updates too, which is nice. But let's delve deeper into the gameplay you'll be thrown into whilst playing Exoprimal. So right off the bat, the game does seem repetitive, the trailers symbolise that, and after playing a couple of hours I do feel the repetition, but in a good way. You see, in Exoprimal you are simply just killing dinosaurs, but every match is always different from the last. You may get the same map, but objectives may be different. You could start in a completely different location. You may have to escort an ally, defeat a boss dinosaur, capture objectives, or work together as a 10-man squad with the enemy team. It's all random, so you never know what you're going to get really. And of course, as you keep playing, all your achievements will start flooding in. Japanese. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here, but it's been like this since launch. You can kind of tell what achievement you got as they come through anyway, and there are sites that have already translated it, so not the end of the world, but it would be nice if they can fix it soon. But fundamentally, the game starts as PvE and you compete with the enemy team to complete a mix of objectives as fast as you can, like defending an area or VTOL, defeating hordes of dinosaurs, etc. The faster team wins, and the final mission is the decider where both teams will compete in the same universe, meaning you can fight each other. In the event your team is slow, you will eventually get pulled into the final mission to give you a chance. I believe when the percentage or distance hits 20 on the PvP objective, the slower team will automatically be pulled. A bit controversial that, but I guess they want to give the team in question a fighting chance. And it makes sense, because if this setting wasn't applied, most players would be likely to quit since the match is already lost if the enemy team is too far ahead, leaving actual players with bots, which doesn't help the situation. The final mission of each game may consist of having to either escort a cube and upload it, capture zones in a domination style mode called uplink control, or work together as I said before and battle a Neo T-Rex, which is an enemy not to be taken lightly. Now in terms of how matchmaking is done, because the story is partially being told through multiplayer, I would assume you'll match with people who are on the same mission as you of course, but oftentimes that's rare, so if the game can't find players, they'll most likely put you back in a previous mission. The only reason I say this is because I've replayed a few missions before which have the same unskippable cutscenes, and when playing with friends you'll most likely start on the mission of the friend who has progressed the least in the story. It's not a major issue though. I've replayed maybe 4 or 5 missions in my playthrough, but with crossplay enabled I think there's enough players to go through the story with fewer repeats if I'm right with the matchmaking structure. But I'm just giving you guys a heads up in case you want to play with friends. When engaging in PvP, you aren't just fighting the enemy team though, dinosaurs are still swarming in, so that adds to the variation. And on top of that, one player on both teams can summon a Dominator, a large controllable dinosaur which can turn the tide of a match by slowing the enemy team down. There's just so many possibilities within this one game mode, and that's why I see so much replay value in it. The dinosaurs can range from the general trash such as raptors to more dangerous ones such as Dilophosauruses, Ankylosaurus, Triceratopses, T-Rexes, which all come with variations and mutations that make them all the more powerful. Speaking of maxing out, leveling up your exosuits allows you to unlock a range of upgrades, most of which are universal and can be bought once to be used on any exosuit, which is a nice implementation. but there are ones specific to each exosuit as well to improve your combat capabilities, all of which can be upgraded further to increase its benefits via a tier-based system. Bitcoin, the currency you earn in this game, is quite generous with the quantity. You can earn roughly 300 to 600 coins or more after each match, and on top of that you receive bonus coins through leveling up and opening war chests that you receive every few levels or so. So you've got quite a bit to spend on the arsenal available. You can also get the purchasable skins from the free war chests you open, which saves you even more money. This is one of the things I appreciated. In my opinion, you don't have to worry about currency at all. I've been playing without the season pass and got by comfortably, investing in suit upgrades and so on. The amount you receive is good, you're not being held back or pushed to buying the season pass to earn some extra coins. They're giving you enough, you're not earning scraps, so even if you're focusing on upgrading your characters, there is some leeway for you to splash on some cosmetics if you wish. Now, I may sound a bit biased when it comes to earning currency, but that's only because I've had more free time when the game first launched, so some of you may feel differently if you've got a busier schedule, but if you want to manage your coins better, I'd suggest perfecting one character at a time and being strict with the upgrade modules you invest in. You're limited to running 3 upgrades per exosuit anyway, so it's best to stick with the necessary ones for your playstyle and maxing those out before trying to buy them all. I bought upgrades for different characters when I started playing and ended up not using them as much, so that money could have been spent on another character I was more interested in, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely focus on one character to start with. Given that Exoprimal was cheaper than the average video game nowadays, I was expecting some sort of paywall or loot boxes that were hard to come by, but it's the complete opposite. It's still early days though, so things could change, but let me not jinx it. Exoprimal is a unique game, combining PvP and PvE with randomly generated maps and objective game modes to provide a new experience with every match you play. Wiping out hundreds of dinosaurs, watching the destruction of vehicles and structures, seeing your exosuit go flying into walls and blowing up, competing with your friends to be on the leaderboard makes it seem like mindless fun. It's not really a grind fest, it's one of those games you can keep coming back to for short bursts. And for anyone interested, definitely give it a try. It's a solid game and I'm excited for the future updates where we'll get even more exosuit variants and harder game modes. Stay tuned for more content on this. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Dre, take care and see you next time.